Welcome to the Daily Boogie.
Oh, yeah, by the way, forgot to throw this up earlier. This was very funny. I shared this with Ted Dabrowski too. CNN and MSNBC helped Russia sow discord by promoting fake anti-Trump rally. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. But there's one particular quote here that just puts the icing on the cake. The absolute icing on the cake. Oh, should we see the Russia Organised anti-Trump rally?
NBC's Morgan Radford is at Union Square in New York City. That is where the anti-Trump protest is just about to kick off. And Morgan with a good date.
They did live coverage for this thing for 5 hours, MSNBC. Live coverage. Right? It was all about collusion with Donald Trump. It was all about... See, if you rewind maybe an hour or so, we were talking about this concept of active measures. And Ted Dabrowski ducked out of the chat when... Ted, if you can put in, like, your best Russian, spell it out, active measures. I can't remember the way it's said, but there's... however it goes in that pig Latin. And so active measures is a real thing. It's a political strategy. It's an undermining political strategy. Like, there is a reason they may have had a preferred candidate, but hey, these people had $1 million. There was 13 people making social media accounts and organising rallies. They only had $1 million. That suggests to me that if they were getting like Kremlin backing, $1 million isn't a big budget. There's probably dark money, to be fair. But what we can ascertain at this point that there was $1 million on the table to operate, and that's not a lot. If you're trying to take down the most powerful country in the world, $1 million ain't going to cut it. These were the ones that got nabbed. Okay. That's, what's that saying though, Ted Dabrowski? Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. So, you'd have to prove more, but I take your point. So this is the anti-Trump rally from the Russians.
What's happening there right now?
Well, Alex, it's already started. In fact, you can see hundreds of people behind me here in Union Square. I want to show you some of the signs and the posters they're holding up here. You can see one here that says, "Acknowledge Trump's hate, protect our public schools, teachers against Trump." You see people that are really saying that this is the time for them to come together. They're trying to say they're being more inclusive, and that's because thousands of people, as you know, Alex, are feeling marginalized by President.
Nothing says inclusion like wearing black masks and painting pictures and marching and destroying everyone else's day. That's just inclusion to me.
Elect Donald Trump's comments. They said this is a love rally. That's after they.
Oh, it's a love rally. It's a love rally. Remember when Trump put out the love bill?
That direction, they yelled, "We're not going to be tolerating any sexism or homophobia or racism," and that is really the message. All of sort of these protesters coming.
We've even got Chinese here in the background. That's interesting.
Together, frustrated, angry, and all directed.
What was it? Look at the.
Pointed in that direction. They yelled.
What are we looking at, Ted Dabrowski? What are we looking at?
Come together. They're trying to say they're being more inclusive.
I'm waiting for Ted Dabrowski. Let's smash Starbucks windows together. Yes, arm in arm, hand in hand. Free lattes for all. Wait, who's going to make them? Damn it. FSB agent.
And that's because thousands
this
of
guy
people,
here,
as you know, Alex,
the guy walking behind her. Yeah.
like marginalized by President-elect Donald Trump's comments. They said this is a love rally.
After they pointed in that direction, they yelled, "We're not going to be tolerating any sexism or homophobia or racism." And that is really the message. All of sort of these protesters coming together, frustrated, angry, and all directed at the president-elect.
Yeah. Hey, Morgan, can you tell who has organized this rally?
Here we go.
It has been suggested that so many of the protests across this country have been impromptu rallies. I mean, it's been supported by a very diverse array.
This is the line. This is the line to end all lines.
It's been suggested that
who organised this rally? Most of the rallies seem disorganised. Can you tell us who organised this rally? Please let us know who organised this rally.
Directed at the president-elect.
This is it.
Hey, Morgan, can you tell who has organized this rally? It has been suggested that so many of the protests across this country have been impromptu rallies. I mean, it's been supported by a very diverse array of constituents. Is there someone in charge here?
Tell us, Morgan.
Right now, this is lots of different groups of people who
are coming
together with no necessarily official leader. And that's been some of the criticism. People have said, well, what's the point? Do you have all these disparate groups coming together? But what they're saying is the point is they know they can't change the results of the election because that is in the can. But what they say is they want to come together and show America that love really does win.
Oh, no, that's not the one.
Alex, I have to say I've covered quite a few protests from...
Look, she's literally got 2 Russian, super spy bodyguards on either side of her just to make sure that the narrative gets out. We can't have anyone taking out this reporter. We need to make sure the Russian bots have manifested into physical form. They have spawned into flesh and bone, and they are now patrolling the news operation. Yes, sorry, I'm just getting another call. Yes, Mr. Putin. Yes? Yes. Okay, cool. There are no Russian bots at this rally organised by Russian trolls. Nothing to see here. These are just 2 vocal anti-Clinton supporters dressed in black, shadowing the reporter as she makes her way because it's all about love.
The Black Lives Matter protests, and this is something different. It's something unique. The energy here is electric. I spoke to
that woman when she's saying she's concerned that black people will be shot in the street.
Yes, this was.
Did she back from that at all, or is that a legitimate concern for her? Because that's scary.
Alex, it's not only a legitimate concern for her, it's a legitimate concern for a lot.
If I know anything about Eastern European women and Russian women, it's that they wear dark sunglasses when there's no need to, and they have blue hair, and they're kind of a little bit pudgy around the midsection, wearing leather jackets, and poorly written signs. That's a Russian agent if I've ever seen one, ladies and gentlemen.
A lot of people who I've spoken to, not only at this protest, but people I've spoken to just in the city. They said they're wondering if this is almost a license to carry in terms of hate.
There are thousands of people right now taking over Fifth Avenue with several messages, all though aimed at our president-elect. We have people talking about being against racism, sexism. You hear Black Lives Matter being yelled. And we, again, are shutting down Fifth Avenue right now, headed straight to Trump Tower. I really quickly want, Fred,
just for those who may have just joined us, yes, this is all courtesy of Russian trolls. This is all done from the Russian bots, you'll be pleased to know. The indictments in the Mueller investigation, the 13 Russian individuals, they organised this. This is them. They created this, apparently. So, it is what it is.
Make a point. The person that organized this protest, a 20-year-old student...
There we go. This is the line. This is the line. Who organised this protest?
Organized this protest? A 20-year-old student from St. John University here in New York. And he actually, we've seen him several times shaking hands with police officers, talking about what direction they want to go in, how can they go about it peacefully. It is the most organized protest that I've seen happen here in New York City. And
goal! Do you want to hear that line again? Do you want to hear that line again?
Shaking hands with police officers, talking about what direction they want to go in, how can they go about it peacefully. It is the most organized protest that I've seen happen here in New York City. And that
this anti-Trump protest organized by Russian trolls, ladies and gentlemen, it is officially the most organized protest I have ever seen in New York City. Yes. Enjoy it. Lap it up.